Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Before we went out for break, we said it is not meant for everyone to go out there. But for those who really want to go out there, back in their mind, they want to go gain the experience, the working experience, the exposure itself. How is it like, or how was it like for you? Even to prepare to go out, we see many people also getting deported. Is it that they never did a good homework in preparing to go out there? Talk to us, Rosemary.
Gosh, it could be anything.
Right.
Those are several questions in one.
Yeah.
First of all, I would say it's not just for young people who can go and experience, that life there and all. Even adults, if you're curious, that's all I would say.
Right.
How curious are you? If you're curious, then if your curiosity leads you to believe that it can only be fed from being out there, do your homework. And I absolutely would encourage anybody who wants to go and experience it.
Right.
The thing I would discourage anybody is to imagine or to think you're going to go out there to run away from reality.
Right.
Here at home or wherever it is you may be, because reality will find you anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So unfortunately, I've met people who have tried to go out of the country mostly to run away from reality. Personally, when I went there, it's a long story how I got there, really. I shared it on several platforms and several interviews. I basically blazed my own trail. Nobody in my family had traveled out of the country. Nobody in my family had flown. And yet, I just dreamt as a young girl that one day I would like to go overseas. I used to, how primitive it was, I used to think overseas is the name of a country.
Right.
Because missionaries that I encountered as a young kid told me they came from overseas. So I believed overseas was a place like Kenya.
Right.
And so I dreamt of that.
Yes.
And, dreams can become reality.
Amazing.
If you don't give up on them.
Right.
If you invite God into your dreams, you put some work behind it, and go out of your curiosity. Be curious to seek information. Information is very powerful when you apply.
Right.
Knowledge is very powerful.
Yes.
The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge or understanding. And so as a young person, of course, I had craved life overseas, not knowing where it was. But as a young adult, of course, life was shedding some light with the networks I was making, people I was interacting with, and getting to know about life out there, and then getting to know that there are different countries. It's not a place called overseas. And so I would say the first thing, just like for me, is you must have a purpose. What do you want to go do?
Right.
What's your intentions? Make it very clear.
Yes.
If your intentions are not clear, it's like trying to shoot in the dark. I mean, what are you shooting at? Are you going there just because of what you've heard or you've seen on TV? Have you done your due diligence to do research to know, what do I want to go and do there?
Yes.
And you mentioned something about deportation. It's a very painful experience, as I can imagine. My heart goes out to everybody or anybody that has experienced that.
Right.
When you've never experienced something, you will never really say, I know. Some people say, oh, I know how hard it is. You don't know if you've never experienced. So I don't know how it is, but I believe it can be a very discouraging experience.
Depressing one.
Depressive. You even wonder, was it worth the effort, the resources, my time and everything? But sometimes people will go there without a clear intention or clear purpose of why they are going there.
Right.
Parents will send their kids there when kids, every child, you're told to go where they're here, everybody here call it what? Maju.
Yes.
I didn't even know.
Maju.
I didn't even know what that was.
My son is in Maju.
I didn't even know, and I had never heard of that word until I came back to Kenya.
Right.
And then people would say, Umeka Maju, you've been Maju. I'm like, what's Maju?
Yes.
So if someone wants to go just for the fame of just saying, I went to Maju, or I live in Maju, or for you parents, if you just want to send your kids so that you can be saying your kids live abroad.
When parents meet?
Yes.
No. Where's your son?
Oh, he lives in the States, he lives in Australia, oh, she's in Germany, oh, she's in London, or there, wherever they are. It's a good thing.
It's nothing wrong with
But
that.
is it just for pride?
Right?
Is it just
Yes.
for the fame of it?
Yes.
So for me, who had no one to pave the way for me, I had to dream about my life and I had to dream about exactly what it is I want to go through there
Right.
and when.
Yes.
The timing must be right also.
Amazing.
One unfortunate thing I've encountered is you see parents, especially from our country or from Africa, and, you know, sending kids to America because it's the great United States of America.
Right.
You send them there straight from high school.
Yes.
They've never experienced life outside school.
Right.
They've never brushed shoulders with reality. You know, when you're in school, they're very cushioned,
Yes.
especially if they went to boarding schools. They've been cushioned, you know, from a group of schools. You know, they have house helps at home. Everything is provided for them. In the United States of America, children start learning responsibility when they're very young. From as early as 16 years old, a child can be hired to work.
Wow.
Some jobs, absolutely.
Ooh.
They can get an interim driving license. At 16, they're entitled to having a car.
Hey.
And so they can go and work like McDonald's, Burger King, unskilled labor,
Right.
really unskilled
Right.
labor.
Right.
But over here at 16, we still say they are babies.
Ooh.
They are babies.
No responsibility.
They
for
cannot
them.
even wash a spoon. You go to America, my friend,
They're even working and being paid.
being paid. And by the time they're 18, they're held responsible by their parents. They're supposed to start paying at least something. If you're living in your parents' house and you're 18 years old, you're supposed to pay at least electric bill, water bill, trash bill, something, garbage, something. You must pay something. Or can you, if the parents bought you a car, can you at least
Yes.
pay for the insurance?
Yes.
So they're held accountable. They start being held accountable at a young age. I'm not saying every child in America ends up being a responsible person, but at least the system there starts teaching responsibility early. Here, we don't have
What's the challenge? What's the challenge when you compare the way they do things, like now how the kids get to be responsible early enough? What's the gap for us?
The gap for us here is, like I said, we baby our kids for too long. It still breaks my heart sometimes, not literally,
Yes.
but to really hear a parent calling their 24-year-old a teenager. Teenage ends at
Ooh.
19, that's why
Ooh.
it's teen. 20, there is no teen in 20.
Oh my God.
21,
20, you are still a
22,
teenager.
23, 24. And parents, well, you know, today's teenagers. I said, your daughter has completed college. Your son is completed, or he's in college, or he's
Yes.
an adult. He's not a teenager. So if you baby them until they're in their mid-20s,
Right.
so then by the time they're 30s, when you're starting to treat them like they're 18, 19,
Yes.
exiting teenage,
Right.
no wonder some people have sons and daughters at home in their 30s that have no sense of responsibility. Now, imagine you send that person
Out
to the
there.
first world. There's a reason that's the
Ooh.
first world. And we're developing world in the third world.
And we are also dreaming of becoming fast.
We
have a
want
long
to-
way?
Oh my goodness. You know, and we want to go there
Yes.
and live the life that we've seen on, you know, the fantasy life of
Yes.
TV, showbiz, and all that. Nothing wrong with admiring somebody and wanting to one time have a lifestyle that's similar to that, if not exactly like that.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with admiring success. It's
Right.
great because that should become, but it should be an inspiration for you. But then now you should find your innermost motivation
Right.
to get the life that you want to have, to live the life that you want to have, and the discipline within you to work towards that, because otherwise it becomes a fantasy, just a
Yes.
fantasy. It's not even a reality. And so many people go there, their parents are here, they are funding their lifestyle,